Thank you for visiting my channel. I'm Onyema John. I'm happy that you are here, so you are welcome. In this video in particular, I'm showing you how you can set your page setup in your document. The reason is that in some cases you will see that you have to print your document on a paper that the dimension is already specified for you, like the letter-headed paper. How can you set it? This video will show you. Then in case you are preparing a research project for students and the project is not A4 in size, it is photo size, how can you set such a project so that the project will not have any problem during binding? And what if the project is A4 in size? How can you still set it? And besides, if you are preparing your document and you will note that there is a particular table in the document that you want to use landscape orientation to prepare the table, is it still possible to use one file to use the upper side of the page as portrait and then use the lower part of the same document as landscape, so that the entire document will be within one file? The answer is yes. If you stay till the end of this video, you will see how you can set your page in such a way the certain part of the page is in portrait format while the other part of the page is in landscape format. So please don't go away. Stay till the end of this video, for you will learn something from today's video. Thank you very much. Let's see the practical aspect of this video now. In this video, I want to show you how you can perform your page setup in your document. What are the things you have to do when it comes to page setup? First, go to page layout, and within the page setup section, you will see things that you can do within page setup. Page setup has something to do with setting the margin for your document, setting the orientation for your document, setting your paper size, setting your columns in case you need columns, and other things. Let's go one after another. First, the margin. You can click here on margin and you have the last custom settings for this margin. These are the last custom settings, whereby you can use top 1 inch, left 1.5, bottom 2.5, right 1. This setting in particular is the setting I use for projects, and the project type that I use this one for is the project that will not be as long as A4. That is a photo size project. I use this setting and it's perfect for photo size project. Top 1, left 1.5, bottom 2.5, right 1. But if your project, research project that you are typing is A4 size, you can take normal here, which top 1, left 1, right 1, bottom 1. All the page margin is 1, 1 throughout. Else, know how to set the page margin. There's reason for you to know how to set page margin, because in some cases you will print documents using predetermined measurement for the paper. This is what I mean. If you are to use letter-headed paper to print a letter for somebody, then you will notice that the letter-headed paper already carries information on top of the paper. In some cases, on the bottom side of the paper, even the left side of the paper may carry some information, whereby you must know how to set it so that your new text now will not get in touch with the previous text that is on the paper already. That is why you must know how to use custom margin here. You click on custom margin, come to this point now, carry your ruler, measure the top of the page of the letter-headed paper and see if the top of the letter-headed paper is up to 2 inches. You now specify top 2. But if it is up to 2.5, specify top 2.5. But if it is exactly 2.5, there is need for you to leave the top to be 2.7, leaving small space between the previous text and the new text you want to use. Going to the left side, if your letter-headed paper has text on the left side and there's need for you to measure and see it before you specify your left, measure the letter-headed paper, measure where the text stops, and then enter it here. Go to the paper. It's not in all cases that you will use A4 to print something. Even the letter-headed paper that I mentioned here, there are some letter-headed paper that is not A4. They are larger than A4. Then, you have to know how to select the paper size. Go to maybe lacquer paper, which is longer than the A4 and bigger than the A4 a bit. Then, once you are done, and then specify the margin, you can now say OK. But there are also instances that you will not even print the documents using portrait orientation. If you will print the document using landscape orientation, please select landscape from here, so that the system will turn the page orientation to landscape, and then you click OK. Now see, that is the landscape orientation. Now let's take the orientation. I've shown you already. The orientation should be portrait. The one we have on the screen now is the portrait, and you can also set the landscape. It all depends on what you want to do. You can set the paper to be landscape, you can set the paper to be portrait. It all depends on what you want to do. So once you are done, allow it. If you need portrait, by default portrait is active. Then now see the paper size. So I showed you the other place. You can select your A4 from here that you want to print using A4, because by default the system comes with letter paper size. Checking it closely, you will see that letter paper size is 8.5 by 11, while letter is 8.5 by 14. And take note, A4 size is 8.27 by 11.69. Check the dimension of the paper here. Check the dimension. You will see that this one is longer than this one. Letter is longer than letter, and A4 is smaller a bit than letter and letter. Though in terms of the length, A4 is a bit longer than letter, very small. Just this one 11 and this one is 11.69. So take note of the paper size so that you can use it and print for somebody. Then also, in some cases that you will use landscape orientation, there will be need for you to use more than one column within the text. You can use 2 columns. This is what it means. It divides your page into 2, the left and the right side. Then the center will be free. That means you are using column for this page now. If you don't need it again, return to 1. That's it. You can also perform breaks. You see that you can use page break, section break. Page break means that, let's assume this text now is still within page 1, but you want this text now to start the next page. That's when you use break here. You click on break and then you click page. It will now move from where your pointer was blinking. It moves from your insertion point to the next page. See how it works. And even if you now say, I want this objective of the study to start the next page, just click before the objective of the study, click break, and then select page. It takes you to the next page. So that's how you can use break here. What does section break? If you want to understand how to use section break, please check the description of this video or check this channel, search through this channel. You will see section break, how you can use it effectively, and also line number and hyphenation. Still note that if you click on this customize arrow here, it takes you to the page setup dialog box, whereby you can specify other things within this dialog box. Okay, let me show you one simple thing. Let me show you. You see this page now. This page is in portrait orientation. Yes, portrait. But if it gets to a particular point that you want this page to be landscape, you are still using portrait too, but at a certain point you want it to become landscape within the same document. Click here, this, and then come to where you have apply to. Select here this point forward and then specify landscape. That means you are now telling the system from this point that the cursor is blinking forward that it should be landscape. Then you click OK. You now see that the top part of the document is portrait and stops here. Stop at this point. Then the other side of the document now is landscape. You can still work on that, especially if you are preparing a document that has a table and the table is somehow complicated in such a way it cannot stand as portrait. Then you want to use landscape. That's how when you get to where the table is located, you now tell the system that from that very point that the system should use landscape orientation. It will save you the stress of carrying the table to go and prepare in a very different location and then use it as a landscape there. You can stand within this page and then specify landscape, and the system will understand, and while working portrait, getting to a certain point, it switches to landscape for you. So please make good use of it. You'll see that you will really enjoy it. Make good use of it. See this hyphen here that you have here. This hyphen here. This hyphen. You can enter the hyphen automatic, and you can use manual way to enter the hyphen. What do we call hyphen here? See now. Let me undo. See this. Keyboards are interested here. See this word now. If there is no hyphen, the interested will now get to the next line, thereby creating more gaps between words, as you can see. But if you are using hyphen here, automatically the system will try to see it that it now splits the word into two, allow the first part to be here, then putting the hyphen mark, and the next part of the text will get to the next line. You will not use this in all cases, but I'm only showing you in case somebody will just need it. You can use it. This line number you can use continuous, you can use with slash each page, and you can start each section, and it will count the number of lines for this document for you. So please, that's how you can perform page setup for the document that you are working on. So please, thank you for watching this video to the end, and once again, if you have not subscribed to this channel, do it. Touch the subscribe button now. As to subscribe to this channel, more videos are still coming. Invite your friends too. I always say this. In fact, share this video to your friends. You don't know how you will help them. Please share it. Let them discover things they may not know. Help them to see what they can do. Thank you very much, and bye for now.